All right, back to the campaign trail now. Bernie Sanders continues to campaign against Hillary Clinton, but she's turning her attention elsewhere.
Well, he doesn't have a view. He has a slogan, and he needs to be really pressed on that. When he says climate change is a Chinese hoax, what does that mean? You know, has he ever talked to a scientist?
You can hear it there. The Democratic frontrunner now taking aim at the presumptive GOP nominee, Donald Trump. It's a clear sign primary season is winding down and shifting into general election mode. So here, for a fair and balanced look at the new state of the 2016 election, GOP strategist Sean Noble, who is the president of American Encore, and Jessica Tarlov, who is a Democratic pollster and strategist. She's with Schoen Consulting. Thank you both for joining me today. Now, I do want to start with you, Jessica. Clinton is clearly pivoting. Who is she appealing to? Who is she trying to appeal to? And is this the right time to pivot while she still has an opponent?
I think it is the right time to pivot. I think she wants to make it about general election issues, draw the lines in the sand about what she's about and what Donald Trump is about. She can't forget Bernie Sanders, though. We know that. You know, we have West Virginia coming up, and she certainly needs to prepare for California. But as you said before, she is well on her way to winning this nomination. So I do think that it is the right time to be talking about these issues. And I think it also speaks to how strong of an opponent she does think Donald Trump will be. She's making clear appeals to his base of voters, which are white men, mostly, and that's a demographic that she doesn't do as well with. She doesn't need to worry about the African-American vote, the Latino vote. I think that women in the end will break for Hillary Clinton. I think it's that blue-collar vote that she needs to really target.
All right, Sean, do you agree with that? Do you think that she needs to work harder for that vote, or do you think she also needs to be focusing really on the female vote?
Well, I think she does need to focus a little bit on the female vote. Now, I do believe that there's going to be a record gender gap in this election. I mean, Donald Trump does not appeal to women very well. I think you're going to see some shifting in his rhetoric. The thing that's going to be interesting is that I actually think he's going to have broad appeal. And it won't be a majority, but he'll probably get the largest number of African-American votes that any Republican has received in recent memory. Because there is
a sense of
the...
What makes you say that?
Well, because he really does appeal to those that are feeling like they've been left behind. I mean, the blue-collar worker includes whites and blacks, and it's going to be interesting when you look at these industrial states. It's going to completely change the electoral college map. This is a different election that we've never seen before, and the thing that's bad for Hillary is that she does not have this completely sewn up. I mean, she may try to pivot to the general, but she has got a few months of scrapping with Bernie Sanders in front of her all the way to Philadelphia. And she's going to have to divert some attention to take care of that left flank because Bernie's going to keep being a bulldog.
Right. But you brought something up that I want to keep talking about. You talked about the electoral map. And states that were red and have been red in the past are perhaps going to be turning blue. And Georgia's a perfect example of that. How does Donald Trump either keep the map the way it is or rewrite history, so to speak? And Jessica, you can answer, and then Sean, I'd like to hear your response.
I think he goes for rewriting history. I think that's really where Donald Trump has shown his strength. You know, he's accomplished things that no one expected were possible. So I think, you know, as you mentioned, Georgia now, it's tied there when that's reliably red, but he's going to focus on, you know, going after Pennsylvania and Ohio, which obviously have gone Republican in the past, but to make those more solidly for himself. And he's going to focus also on the Northeast and places where he has shown strong popularity that no one would have expected a Republican to do as well. So I think that's going to be his strategy there. Donald Trump is running a completely insurgent, bizarre campaign, and I think he's going to keep up with that approach.
All right, Sean, you get the last word.
Well, I agree with Jessica that it is rewriting the map. I think you have to include Michigan and Wisconsin into that, and New Jersey in that equation. I believe Georgia is actually going to go to Trump, and Arizona is not. It's completely out of reach for Hillary. I mean, it's staying reliably red.
Why? I mean, if they're tied right now in the polling, why is it out of reach for her?
Well, I think I mean, the polling right now is pretty fluid. I think that anyone that looks at polling in the summer before even the conventions are done, it's just way too early. But Arizona is going to be reliably red because the Hispanic vote, while it's growing, is still way too small to have an impact on helping Hillary.
Well, we could certainly continue this conversation, but Jessica and Sean, just because of time, we have to wrap it up, but we hope to have you both back. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you so much.